on, everybody? Stefan, and we're here for a SmackDown review for September the 16th, 2022. It's been over a year since I just did a SmackDown review. Simply put, because Rampage tonight is not worth watching. Yes, you have Josh Woods versus Samoa Joe in a Ring of Honor World title TV title match, but it's not AEW. I have no desire to see Matt Hardy face against Darby Allin. I have no desire for anything else on that show. The fact that you have Diamante come out to challenge Jay Cargill for the TBS Championship for next week is a joke. Plain and simple. So we're going to talk about SmackDown. SmackDown starts out with Logan Paul. Logan Paul comes to the ring and, as says his piece, out comes for the first time since SummerSlam Paul Heyman with the Bloodline minus Roman Reigns, of course, who tries to Logan Paul down, mentioning how if anybody outside of WWE would be a Paul Heyman guy, it would be Logan Paul. The guy took one up against Floyd Mayweather, didn't go down, and stood toe-to-toe with him and beat him. Didn't beat him, but didn't get beat. Then makes a joke about Floyd Mayweather coming up to Paul Heyman's nutsack, which was kind of funny. Says that Jake Paul's going to get knocked out by Anderson Silva, who gives a shit. And then this all leads to Logan Paul threatening to knock out Paul Heyman before Solo Sikoa, who was on the apron at the time, get to him. Of course, Sami Zayn gets in the ring. He's like, listen. I think Roman Reigns should put me in charge of taking care of this instead of you, Paul Heyman. Maybe not the right man for the job. Heyman throws the fucking ring. He's like, go right ahead. Paul Heyman Sami Zayn gets knocked in the mouth. The rest of the Bloodline try to come in to attack, and Logan Paul was able to get out. Out comes Ricochet, and we got ourselves a match between Sami Zayn and Ricochet. Now, tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon, it's going to be Logan Paul and Roman Reigns in a press conference announcing the main event for Crown Jewel between Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. I'm at the point of you could have Doink the Clown versus Roman Reigns, and it doesn't fucking matter. Everybody's going into a match with Roman Reigns, and everybody's going to lose. Up until whenever the hell they want him to lose the championship. It's not that difficult to figure out. Why should I get invested in any fucking match? Yes, I know it's going to happen at Crown Jewel. Most people don't give a flying fuck about Crown Jewel. So, why should I be complaining? I'm not really complaining about it. It's just, it is time for Roman Reigns' title run to end. There comes a time you can't just have one person be a world champion for 700, 800, 900, 1,000 days in 2022. You have no reason for this guy to go out there and still be the Universal Champion or the WWE Champion. And boy, oh boy, when Logan Paul mentioned about the press conference and what if he was to challenge Roman Reigns and beat him, get that one lucky shot and beat him for the Universal Championship, the crowd died. They did not believe a single word coming out of this man's mouth. Now, I know Logan Paul wants to be a babyface. He wants to be cheered. He wants to be loved. But you're a Paul. You are one of the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan Paul. A lot of people are jealous of the fact that you were so successful. That's absolutely true. There's a lot of people jealous of the fact that you have all these different careers in boxing, MMA, wrestling, and whatever else. The fact that you have so many subscribers on YouTube and you make a lot of money. But also the fact that you're just a big fucking dick. Nobody likes you. Why are you thinking and also you're an outsider? Yes, you came in and killed it at WrestleMania. Yes, you killed it at SummerSlam. Doesn't mean professional wrestling fans or sports entertainment fans are going to fucking love you. Dude, you have to go out there and earn your stripes. Having 2 matches is not enough. If you went on a loop of house shows and went out there and and actually put on good matches at house shows to the point that people are like, man, you should go to this next house show. Logan Paul's going to be there. He had a hell of a match when I went, and people will talk. You will get that respect eventually, but for now, you are still an outsider coming in, taking spots from other people. Yeah, couldn't have a guy like, Ricochet could take that fall, or anyone else. It doesn't matter, really. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, you could have Doink the Clown. You could resurrect Yokozuna to take on his fucking nephew. You could have all these guys, like, you could have anybody. You could have Barry Darso come back. Or Duke the Drunk the Grizzly. It doesn't fucking matter. It's Roman Reigns right now. If Roman Reigns gets The Rock at WrestleMania, it would not surprise me if Roman Reigns holds on to that Universal Championship till at least he eclipses 1,000 days. I looked it up and I counted it up and everything. When Roman Reigns takes on The Rock, if it is The Rock at WrestleMania, he'll be at 944 days or 43 days, whatever day it is, as Universal Champion. Why would you not want to go another 56 days as Roman Reigns as Universal Champion and just eclipse that 1,000 day title run? It doesn't work in today's professional wrestling, though. It just doesn't. But we're getting the press conference tomorrow. It'll be made official. Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns is going to happen for the Universal Championship. And I just give a shit, and nobody else should. Like I said before, we are at the point of Roman Reigns' wrestling time that why should I care who he wrestles? He's going to win by hook or by crook, and it's just going to be the same old, same old. That's all there is to it. Sami Zayn versus Ricochet came out of this. Of course, Logan Paul was in Ricochet's corner. Sami Zayn had the bloodline in his corner. There's a really funny moment towards the end of the match as Paul Heyman gets pissed off. He smashes his fist on the announce desk, and Michael Cole's like, "Thanks, Paul. You spilled my pop all over my papers." And so Paul Heyman grabs this can of soda or whatever he's drinking and just starts throwing, turning it upside down and just smacking it and throwing all this soda on the Michael Cole's papers. It was fucking hilarious. That had me rolling. Obviously, Paul Heyman keeps distraction, not Paul Heyman. Logan Paul distracts Ricochet after the bloodline distracts Sami Zayn. Jey Uso, who has been on the fence of having Sami Zayn in the bloodline at all, is not happy with him still being a part of the bloodline, actually was the one trying to help Sami Zayn for the majority of the match. Every time, Jimmy went up there once, but the other times it was Jay, and to the point where Ricochet actually hit him and knocked him over. He got in the ring, and Zayn actually had Ricochet beat. Unfortunately, Jey Uso gets up on the ring apron, and that gets Sami Zayn to come down. They go head-to-head, they just have head-to-head. Jimmy gets in between them and holds them back. This was actually a very good way of doing the old have two or three people outside catching your opponents in the way that you would see where three people would just be holding each other trying to wait for the guy to catch them. This was done well because they're sitting there arguing, and then they go up, look up, and go, "Oh shit," and there's Ricochet taking him down. I liked that. That is really good. I hate seeing it over and over and over again that you see somebody go out there and just get hit, and they take a tope. They just gotta sit there and wait, and it looks really stupid. Do more things like this. In the end, Ricochet hits the shooting star press 1, 2, 3, and the bloodline Jey Uso cost Sami Zayn the match. Now, that will come into play later for Solo Sikoa's match, as the bloodline gets up on the apron, looks like they're about to do something, but then Madcap Moss shows up. Madcap Moss shows up with a chair, and the bloodline retreat. It's going to be Madcap Moss versus Solo Sikoa later in the show, and they will later announce that it is for Solo Sikoa's newly won North American Championship. So we get a video package of Karrion Kross attacking Drew McIntyre in the stupidest way possible by having the monochrome black and white show up during the attack. No more, please. We see a video of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Kross says this time he chooses the judgment. It says the chosen one was executed by the newly appointed People's Executioner. He says that while McIntyre fought back, he let it go. Kross says that he lets nothing go and changes timelines. He says McIntyre will be in his endless loop of suffering that he controls and will never get out of. Ugh. Don't care. Get rid of the monochrome ASAP. The Maximum models as Max and Maxine Dupree are in the ring. Maxine and Max Dupree are there. They say that they're here to introduce the back to school collection. But before that, Max Dupree says that they're in Anaheim, California, a stone's throw away from LA. And then he just stops. looks down, like something's going, like he's just remembering things. He's just having this remembering. And he's like, wait a minute. We're not here to talk about Hollywood. We're here to show out the school back to school collection. Out comes Marseille and Mansoir. They show this stuff off, and as they go to do the 5-second pose in front of the camera, and shows up, and the look on Marseille and Mansoir's face was just meme worthy material. It was one of those. It was at this moment they knew they fucked up. That type of moment. I hope Botchamania uses that and puts that in there. That's funny. But they get laid out. Braun Strowman destroys them. Out comes Chad Gable with the shoosh. He got by himself, but that leads to Otis attacking from behind. Looks like Braun Strowman's gonna get out of this one, but Chad Gable and them were able to do keep him like take him down. Got a world's strongest slam. This pissed me off. This was stupid. You have Otis hit the world's strongest slam, which Strowman no sells completely. He gets hit with the world's strongest slam and immediately pops up like he's the fucking Undertaker. You could have sold it for at least wait a few minutes, then pop back up and ask for the fight. But no, he had to no sell it immediately. Like, come the fuck on, sell it for a little bit at least. He was like, world's strongest slam. As soon as Otis turned around, he popped back up. You could have waited about 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, maybe even a minute, and then pop up. But no selling it, just, are you kidding me? So they're going to fight next week. Damage Control is here. This is Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bayley. And Dakota Kai did mention on social media that I believe today has solidified her women's tag team title run on the WWE main roster as her longest title run in WWE to date. As you know, when they brought out the NXT women's tag team titles, they gave them to Raquel and Dakota. They lost Shotzi and Amber Moon that night, and then when they won the titles again last year at earlier this year, or was it earlier this year? Or was it last year? Was it earlier this year? I think it was earlier this year at Stand and Deliver. They held it for 2 days and then lost them back to Toxic Attraction. And then, of course, Dakota got fired. I think that was earlier this year. Dakota wasn't gone for very long, actually, if you think about it. But yeah. And she held, she's held the titles for long enough to be like, yeah, this is my longest time as champion. So, yeah, they're going to hold them for a while. People are expecting to see Naomi and Sasha Banks back. They're a little bit too busy being runway models to come back and wrestle because they've done everything they can do, and they want to do other things in their life, and honestly, they can. So, Damage Control out here. Bayley says she's back on SmackDown before Kai says they can go to any brand at any time because they have the women's tag team titles. Bayley says they can put in the work, and it paid off. She says that they have the power. Raquel Rodriguez comes to the ring. She is not smiling, finally. Says that she doesn't get to see greatness, but 3 bullies that hurt her partner and are powerless to stopping her from getting revenge. Then I retreat to the outside. Michael Cole, of course, is on commentary, so Bayley goes over and yells at him and blames him for Raquel coming after them. So apparently Aaliyah is injured. Do not give a shit. This was Raquel Rodriguez's best match on the main roster by far. And of course it is, because who is she working with? Bayley. Bayley is definitely holding, when Bayley's here, ever since Bayley turned heel back in 2019, cut up the Bayley buddies, cut her ponytail off, she has been one of the pillars in carrying the women's division when she's not injured. My God. The fact that she went out here, Raquel has not had a good match at all, even though it's because, Aaliyah has been holding her back and shit. Damage Control, thing. But it's this was her best match by far. And yeah, Bayley is just a miracle worker. She can make almost anybody look good. Unfortunately, she couldn't make Aaliyah look good because Aaliyah fucking sucks anyway. So they have this match here, good match. Bayley picks up the win after Io Sky and Dakota Kai are the distractions enough from the referee and helping her up. She hits the rose plant. She picks up the win. After the match, they attack. And I'm like, okay, so there was news report going out that Shotzi Blackheart is Got her tank back. It was I guess flown to Anaheim tonight. Didn't use it, but she did run out to the ring to make the save, turning face. Another mistake that Triple H has to fix that Vince McMahon fucked up with, because Shotzi Blackheart should have never been a fucking heel. Should have never lost her tank. Should have never lost her last name. Should have never been a heel whatsoever. The Shotzi Blackheart character is a baby face. She is a rock star. She is a metalhead. She is one of those people that you want to go into a concert with and fucking have your head banging sessions with. You're not gonna want to boo this woman. Nobody wanted to boo Shotzi. Another mistake that Vince McMahon made that Triple H has to fix. Everyone's wondering, why is it like not night and day from Triple H to Vince McMahon? Because Vince McMahon made so many fucking mistakes and made so many fucking fuck ups that Triple H has to take the next few months fixing everything, bringing back talent like Dakota Kai, making sure Io Shirai doesn't go back to Japan and signs her to a deal on the main roster, bringing back Bayley and giving her damage control as a team, bringing back talents like Karrion Kross, Shit Row, even though I'm not a big fan of them and I think they fucking suck. One day they will probably be better than they are, but bringing back other talents apparently supposed to be coming back as well. Some that we're not even talking about. Who that could be, I don't know, but apparently there's going to be a surprise in the next coming weeks that someone we aren't even talking about. Definitely not Bray Wyatt, because that's how nobody will not shut up about Bray Wyatt. So yeah, there's that. So Triple H is just fixing these mistakes that Vince McMahon made, and making Shotzi babyface again. Give her back her fucking last name, please. Shotzi Blackheart is her full name. Just like bringing up Giovanni Vinci and putting him back with Marcel Barthel and Walter and reforming Imperium. Give them back their fucking original theme. Symphony number 9, I think is what it is. That is the theme of Imperium, but that'll come eventually. Just so many mistakes, so many massive mistakes that Vince McMahon made, and Triple H has been course correcting for the last 2 months. With how much damage Vince McMahon did to his own product, and how much damage control, and how much, no pun intended, how much damage control and fixing that Triple H has to do, it could take at least another, like a full year before we see the vision completely that Triple H wants. We're getting inklings of it, but he has to fix things. Turning Shotzi babyface, bringing Imperium back together, bringing Dakota Kai back, who should have never been fucking fired. Raquel finally not smiling. I hope this is the first of many times she won't be smiling. Just so much that Triple H is like, I don't envy. I would not want that position he is in, because so much he has to fix. That one day we'll be sitting here and just seeing how good this company can be. It's got a ways to go, but we're getting there. Ronda Rousey is backstage with Kayla Braxton. Rousey says there will be no controversy this time before Liv Morgan walked in and asked for a moment alone with Rousey. Morgan says that Rousey doesn't respect her, and if she's the only person on this planet to beat her twice. Morgan says that she will earn her respect by beating her once more, and she wants an Extreme Rules match. She challenges Rousey to one, and Rousey says, "It's your funeral." Yeah, she still puts you to sleep. This was not a good promo at all. I'm sorry, but Liv Morgan her moment in the sun is done with. She's done an Extreme Rules match. She's going to get beat, and we're going to hopefully move on to Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey for the Women's Championship coming out of Survivor Series time or whatever. Because we sure as hell do not need to have SmackDown versus Raw shit anymore. That being said, we come back for commercial break, and Drew McIntyre appears. He heads to the ring, stands on the commentary desk. He says that Karrion Kross has his attention and isn't man enough to face him. He tells Kross to grow his set and did step up to him. He says his time is running out, and the only countdown he needs to worry about is 3, 2, 1, lights out. We head backstage to the Bloodline and say they hype up Solo Sikoa, and Jay is just hyping him up. He's hyping him up. He's like, "We got you like we did last week. We're gonna go out there and everything." And Solo's like, "Dude, I got this. You off your game today. Hey, Sammy, you coming?" Everybody else everyone's shocked at Sami Zayn getting the nod to go with Solo Sikoa, and his brothers are being told to stay behind. Obviously, Michael Cole did justify this by saying that maybe Solo Sikoa is so confident in himself that Sami Zayn is enough. But you can just see that the rift between Jey Uso and the rest of the bloodline is coming, and so everybody like Roman likes Sammy, Jay likes Sammy. After last week, and this week, Solo Sikoa loves like Sammy. Like, dude, Jey Uso is the odd man out right now. It's going to turn around, and Sami Zayn, of course, is going to get killed. When they turn on Sami Zayn, a lot of people saying this is going to be Festival of Friendship, kind of, oh my god. But I don't know. We'll see. It should be very interesting to see what happens. Matt Moss, Solo Sikoa for the North American Championship. I mean, this was a fucking fire match. This was Solo Sikoa's. Like, Solo Sikoa had his match against Drew McIntyre last week. They had a fine match, but this was great. I think this was like out of the two matches Solo had, even if the terrible finish last week with how they did the whole monochrome thing, this was awesome. This was a great match. These two just going after each other, back and forth. Like Madcap looking like he could actually dethrone Solo Sikoa after a 2-day title reign sometimes. Sami Zayn not doing much to help Solo until the near end. It wasn't like he was. It's not like the Faker and her friends who do stupid shit for her all the way through her matches. This was Solo versus Madcap for 95% of this match from start to finish, and then at the end, like Madcap looks like he's on a hot streak. Look like he's gonna do something in the corner, maybe like a shoulder thrust in the corner, and Sami Zayn pulls Solo out, allowing Solo to catch his breath. Madcap chases after Sami Zayn. This allows Solo to hit a a super kick to Madcap Moss. And then Madcap Moss gets hit with they said a Uranagi. It's pretty much the rock bottom. He literally hits the rock bottom, a much higher and rock bottom to Madcap Moss. 1, 2, 3. Solo Sikoa continues as North American Champion, with him being in the bloodline, and he has the Workhorse Championship of NXT. He's going to be working NXT and SmackDown for the next few weeks. Maybe up till Halloween Havoc, hold the championship till then. And honestly, him versus Volta would be fucking great down the line. Just saying. So, number one contenders match for the for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which will be happening next week. The Brawling Brutes, Imperium, The New Day, and Shit Row. This match, it started off slow, as you can imagine. But, man, when they picked up, it picked the fuck up. I do not like Shit Row, but I will give AJ Francis his due. This motherfucker had Pete Dunne, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston, I think it was Kofi Kingston, all on top of him. He literally had two of the guys on his shoulders, a third one on caught in the middle, like he was gonna do a follow-away slam or something. I think Pete Dunne came off, hits the world's strongest slam while one of them's on top of him. Crazy shit. Then Rich Holland said, "Oh, you want to show off a feat of strength? I'll show you how strong I am." Picks this big motherfucker up and hits an Alabama slam on him. Holy shit! It's like anything you can do, I can do bigger. Holy shit! What a fucking shot. Now, it looked like it was going to be the Imperium picking up the win as they hit the Imperial Bomb. Holland makes the blind tag onto Ludwig Kaiser. By the way, Samantha Irvine, please keep being the ring announcer for SmackDown. Just on the fact of how you say Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. Just the way she says it is mwah. Yes. But they hit the Imperial Bomb. Holland takes Kaiser, throws him out of the ring, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3, and the Brawling Brutes pick up the win, and they cut to commercial. They cut to the Fat Black immediately because they went over time. Very fatal four-way match. Definitely was like, you could definitely tell that they didn't want Shit Road to do much because they were on the apron for a lot of this. AJ Francis is still teasing that tope from him outside of the Tope Con Hero, which he's going to hit one of these days, maybe at Survivor Series. It's going to be a pay-per-view, obviously. You don't throw something. It's a big giant dude doing a tope to the outside. You don't just throw that away on random ass television. You can tease it, but you eventually hit it on big pay-per-view. Overall, this was good. This was a good show. I mean, with Roman Reigns not being there and holding both championships and refusing to work Monday Night Raws, like the shows do take a hit, but I will say that again, the Bloodline is the best thing. Sami Zayn is just fucking fantastic. Everyone loves Sami Zayn. And actually, Braun Strowman taking out the maximum male models, I approve. Out of everything, I approve on that. And of course, LA Knight coming back eventually. They keep teasing. Last week he had his thing on WWE.com exclusive. This time it was on SmackDown. Eventually, the dude's gonna cut. He's gonna break into a fucking. He's gonna be cutting the promo, say something, and then he's going to go into an LA Knight promo, and it's just gonna come back. And I like the way they're just teasing it. It's not they just go to it immediately. Triple H could have just said, "Well, you know what? He didn't. He wasn't there the 1 week, the first week of Triple H taking over, which he wasn't supposed to be. He got written off TV the week before. So, and they could have just had LA Knight return, but they didn't want to do that because then whatever. Also, in the internal roster of Elias, Ezekiel is no longer listed, so it looks like Elias will be coming back soon. I just hope Elias does come back. We pretend like Ezekiel and his family just never existed. But that is your SmackDown review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Miles at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys on Monday for Raw. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.